Happy Saturday. How's everybody doing today? I hope you're all well. Doing another live that I didn't really warn you about either. So I promise I will be better about that. It's just that some of these videos, my time right now is really taken up with preparing preparing for some work travel, and uh, there's just a lot that goes into that. So to sit down and edit a video and do all the things is a little cumbersome. But I wanted to pop on and do this video because there's an urgency to it, right? There's a lot of people right now that are in like pure panic mode because they can't get their Mounjaro, they can't get their Wegovy, they can't get whatever weight loss medication that they were taking and relying on. They just can't get it. And so what I wanted to do was do a live video today where hopefully we can interact with each other. Some of you, as you're hopping on, hit that like, hit that bell, hit the sub, and share it into the forums that you're in. I wanted to hopefully get some folks on here that have actually done some of the things that we're going to talk about. But before we get into how we can kind of work around the squeeze on the supply of Mounjaro and Wegovy and medications like that, I want to give a shout out to another YouTube channel, BJ Davis. So BJ Davis is one of the first men that I found on YouTube that was doing Mounjaro videos. And so I've been following Ben since essentially I started this channel a little over a month ago. And BJ Davis's YouTube channel is great. He's a really authentic guy, a nice guy, and I've just appreciated following his journey. Just it's really raw and honest, and so I appreciate that. So in the description, you can find BJ Davis's page, and I hope that you'll check him out and give him a follow. And also, he has a Discord channel where a lot of the information that I'm going to share today came directly from, and in particular, one user, Michelle H. So Michelle, thank you for the information that you gave me about some of this information regarding compounding medications and all that. And Michelle has a Instagram page that you can follow, and I hope you will. I'm not. It's kind of a long handle, so I'm not going to butcher it and send you in the wrong direction, but I have put that in the description of the video as well. So make sure that you check her out as well. Another account that I've kind of loosely followed, Chrissy G, did a kind of a firsthand account of what this is like on her channel. So you might want to give that a check out as well. Links in the description as well. If you're just joining us, hit that like, hit that bell, hit that sub, and we're going to get into the meat and potatoes of this video here. We're talking about compound pharmacies. So there is a way essentially to get your Mounjaro, to get your Wegovy in a compounded formula. So if you're anything like me, you heard about this and you went, what is that? What is even a compound pharmacy? So a compound pharmacy, a lot of times they're mixed in with a normal pharmacy, but they essentially just have the ability to manufacture medications on site. That's basically what a compound pharmacy is. They have the ability to make medications and to also make certain cocktails of different drugs for people who might require a different type of medication that's mixed with something else. And so there's two types of compound pharmacies, right? So there's a sterile compound pharmacy and a non-sterile compound pharmacy. The sterile pharmacies can actually make injectable medications for you because they're sterile and you won't run the risk of injecting yourself with something that could cause an infection or harm to you. So they have the accreditations to be able to make those. The challenge is they're not super common. There's not a ton of them like there is a Walgreens on every corner. So you're going to have to do a little bit of digging. But thanks to Michelle, I do have a link in the description to a compound pharmacy that does ship. And so you'll want to check that out and see if you might be able to get it. So let's talk a little bit about what the compounds are. So terzepatide is the active ingredient in Mounjaro. That's the medicine I'm on. So this would be a backup for me. But essentially what they do at these compound labs is they take the terzepatide and they mix it with vitamin B. That's what gets them around their patent issues, and they're able to make an injectable medication. You're going to get a little vial, and then you're actually going to get syringes that you're going to have to load from the vial. And The same goes with the Wegovy type medication, the semaglutide. You can get that compounded from these sterile pharmacies as well. And they will send you a vial that, again, will be a syringe that you have to load and inject. But these are available. And so the first question that people have is, well, what does it cost? So I don't have a lot of intel on what those cost because, again, this isn't something I've had to look into for myself. I've had pretty much no problem getting the Mounjaro. And I did a quick video the other night about how I was able to get the 7.5, should be arriving on Monday from Amazon Pharmacy. So even the one that's been squeezed the tightest, I've still been able to get. And I know I'm not trying to be insensitive to people who have struggled. I know that there are people who've struggled, and that's why we're doing this video. But all that to say, I haven't had the chance to really dig super deep into getting pricing. But it looks like not every insurance company is going to cover compounded medications the same way that you might have your normal medications covered. But if you're paying out of pocket for Mounjaro, you're going to pay anywhere from $350 to $700 a dose, depending on the strength of the medication. So not cheap, right? But available. And so that might be something you want to talk to your doctor about. Um, Again, they ship to most states, but you're going to want to reach out to them specifically just to make sure that they do. Um, I'm glad to hear that Tiggy had no issues filling their prescription, and the insurance accepted it, so that's great. But Marlon said, "How do you provide Amazon Pharmacy with the Eli Lilly coupon?" So that's a great question. The Eli Lilly coupon that I had with my normal pharmacy, when I heard that I could get the 7.5 through Amazon, I just logged on to the Amazon Pharmacy, which, if you've never done that before, it's just really simple. Log into your regular Amazon account, go to the pharmacy page, and then you just fill in your information. But what happened was I initiated that transfer of the prescription right there through the Amazon page. And when my pharmacy transferred that prescription over, it just transferred automatically my insurance information and my coupon copay card. So that was all done completely automatically. There's a chat function in there. And then I would suggest, if you can't get anywhere fast enough with the chat function, make sure that you just call directly and ask to talk to a pharmacist. But that is the way. I don't know, today what they're doing. I'm sure the word got out. They might be back to back order. They might be back to, holding some of the medications for, you're welcome, for diabetics as well. So, you enter at your own risk by now, but that is an avenue to explore. I personally, so I got the 7.5 filled. I plan on going back to that for my next dose, but I just jumped right to the 10 from the 5, and I just took my first dose about 4 days ago, and it's been flawless. I have not had any more side effects. I've just had more intense appetite suppressant, and it's just been a bit more prolonged. So I had no problem jumping to the 10, and I certainly had no problem obviously getting it. So it looks like, so I talked about the pricing that I can see as far as the Mounjaro goes, 350 a dose to 700 depending on the strength of the dosage that you're taking. The semaglutide looks like a 1 month supply of that is going to run $300, but you can get a 4 month supply for $1,000. So that's pretty reasonable. I mean, when you think about the money that people normally spend to lose weight, and this is pretty, like, you're going to lose weight if you take it, I'd pay it 100 times out of 100. I'd find a way to. Marlon, I'm glad to hear you're still paying $25. Hopefully that continues to be the case for you as well. I'm curious if anybody who has just joined the stream recently, hit that like, hit that bell, and hit that sub. And if you have any experience with compound pharmacies, please share that in the chat. I'd love to just kind of build off the conversation a little bit more. This is essentially the information that I had for you today. Just to recap, compound pharmacies are able to make these medications for you, the tirzepatide, Mounjaro, and the compound semaglutide, which would be Wegovy, Ozempic. It's not cheap, but it's available. And so compound pharmacies are making that. I've got a link in the description to one, thanks to one of BJ Davis's Discord members, Michelle. and her Instagram handle is in the description as well. But yeah, the link to this pharmacy, which is out of Florida, is in there, and they compound these medications and ship them around the U.S. The thing is, you have to be comfortable with giving yourself an actual injection. It's not like the nifty pen, click, zap, done. It's a vial. You'll have to fill a syringe, and you'll have to actually give yourself an injection. But if you're comfortable with that, it is definitely an option. So with that said, I'm going to give anybody a couple minutes to put any questions that they might have in the comment section, or I did a poll actually the other day on when we should schedule a live stream, like a consistent live stream, and it sounded like Friday nights at 9:30 Central sounded like the best option that I threw out there. If you have an idea, please throw it in the comments. Again, like and share this video around the different forums that you're in to make sure that the word gets out on the channel. I would love to keep doing these videos, but I got to continue to grow this out. Marlon, I've been using Mounjaro for a month, a little over a month, and I have lost 13 pounds to date. So I was down 312 was my starting weight, and this morning I was 297. So I'm down 15 pounds. And people also ask me, what are you eating? And I answer that with whatever I want. It's just that the suppression is so much so that I'm not eating that much. And in full transparency, yesterday was a little bit different for me. Yesterday was the third day of my 10 milligram dose, and I've noticed with all the dosages that I've been on, that third day is the day that the suppression seems to drop off. And so I got really hungry, and for the first time since I've been on Mounjaro, overate. I ate fast food and I overate. Thankfully, I didn't have any major issues because of it. Only a little bit of frustration on my end for just allowing myself to do that. I feel like when I go a couple days and I don't eat very much, I feel like my body kind of rejects it and says, hey, you need to eat something. We've had a couple more join the stream, so I'll just recap what we covered a little bit earlier. We talked about compound pharmacies that can make medication for you, and those are pharmacies where you can actually get compounded versions of Mounjaro and Wegovy, both the tirzepatide and the semaglutide. You can go there. There's a link in the description to a compound pharmacy, a sterile compound pharmacy that makes injectable medications out of Florida, and they will ship it all over the U.S., but you're going to have to dip into the 401k to pay for it, essentially, as long as your insurance doesn't cover it. So that'll be something to discuss with your doctor, something to look at with your insurance company to see if they do indeed provide coverage for the compound medications, but it is an option. So one of the things that I want to keep doing here on this channel is give people options, where a lot of people in a lot of forums and even a lot of videos are still arguing over people taking Mounjaro for weight loss or stealing the diabetics medication. Like, we're just gonna move along here, and we're gonna give you ways to move forward. And so if you look at my last live stream, I actually talked about some other options besides Mounjaro that you could be looking at for weight loss. Wegovy and Saxenda being the two that are approved semaglutide medications. Actually, I don't think Saxenda is semaglutide. Saxenda is like liraglutide or something like that. But both of them act the same way on your body, the same way that Mounjaro does. They delay gastric emptying. They reduce the amount of sugars that your liver makes, and thus bringing your blood glucose down. And what was that? Did I say delay gastric emptying? I can't remember it now, but check that video out. I went over the whole thing. So go back, check out that live stream. With that being said, it doesn't look like I'm having a whole lot of questions here, but continue as this live gets posted to the channel. Continue to ask these questions. I'm actually doing this video today because I had a couple days ago a user said, hey, could you do a video about compound pharmacies and compound medications? And at that time, I have a compound pharmacy here in town, actually, but I didn't really know what they did. So I had to do a little bit of research. And again, thanks to Michelle H. from BJ Davis, who has a YouTube page that is linked in the description, from his Discord channel, which is also linked in the description. Check it out. Check out BJ Davis's page. I love that guy. But with that said, okay, Michelle just popped on, and that is That is the gal who I met over in the Discord, who's given me a lot of this information. She says that her friend Dory underscore VSG is doing great with Saxenda, and she has a YouTube. So definitely, Michelle, I'm assuming that Dory underscore VSG is a place like you could search that and find her here on YouTube. So definitely give uh, Dory a look as well if you're looking for other alternatives to Mounjaro. Again, that Saxenda, the liraglutide, is another option approved for weight loss. So you don't have to worry about people badgering you in online forums because you're stealing medication from the diabetics, which I continue to just beat the drum. There are other medications out there. You know, there's no diabetic that is going to suffer because, you know, somebody with obesity, which is also a chronic illness, is going to take away from them. And this debate's going to be over in a month when Wegovy comes back online. People go back to that. The Mounjaro squeeze will be over, and Eli. And I've done videos on all these things. Go back and check out my channel. I have a playlist, but Eli Lilly is going to double their manufacturing capacity by the end of next year. So as this medicine gets approved for weight loss, which it undoubtedly will in the second part of 2023, they're going to be able to meet demand. And so no worries. Okay, I'm not going to hazard a guess at how to pronounce your handle there. I'm just going to call you K. Has anyone had issues with dehydration and electrolyte imbalance when the side effects are the opposite of constipation? Think I smell what you're stepping in there, K. I'll just answer that for my own. I haven't had any gastrointestinal issues, but I know a lot of people have. I did on metformin. And so when I was on metformin before this, I actually found a product, and I'm going to look it up after this. I have a short video. Go to my shorts, and there's one with a couple of drinks. Look that up, and then I don't know if you can pause it. There's a little brown canister that I have. In that canister, in that short video, is what I take for that, because it's electrolytes, it's sodium, but let's just say weight loss alone can often cause a deficiency in magnesium, in sodium, and in potassium. Those are usually the ones that put people in the emergency room. So check those, check that short out, pause it on the little brown canister. It's the one where I chug a couple drinks at the end, I think. But anyway, yeah, find the short, and I'll try to find a link to Amazon on it at some point here and put that in the description of this video as well. But Kay, I would really recommend it. It wasn't that expensive either when you compare it to, I don't know if you've heard of LMNT, Element. They're like a real salty drink, and I was buying those, but they didn't do much for magnesium and potassium, and that's what what gets depleted as you're losing weight. Ketogenic diets often cause deficiencies in those as well. So with that said, I am going to wrap this stream up. You're welcome, Kay. Thanks for joining. Everybody, I appreciate you hopping on. Please, again, like this stream if you haven't already. And if you would, subscribe to the channel and share this into your forums that you're in if you found it useful. And I am going to sign off for the weekend. And I will let you know. Abby, thank you. And thank you for joining. You always join on the streams, and I appreciate everything that you contribute. And Abby's also over there on BJ's Discord, which for the 80th time is linked in the description. So with that said, I'm going to sign off. I will let you all know. I promise when we do a long form live, I plan on doing it probably Tuesday night. And I'm going to be streaming live from Phoenix on a work trip. So I've got quite a trek to make. This coming Monday, I will be heading there, and I live in Iowa, so it's going to be a welcome change of pace. It's rainy and cold here, so I'm looking forward to the sunshine in Phoenix, and I'm looking forward to catching up with you all on a live on Tuesday night. More information to come. Y'all take care. Thanks for joining.